So, pranams to all the Atma Bandhus. Here we are yet again on a beautiful Monday evening to listen to the most ancient words that have been spoken. But first, let's start with a prayer to the Guru and the Guru Parampara. Om Guru Brahma Guru Vishnu Guru Devo Maheshwaraha Guru Sakshat Parabrahma Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shankaram Shankaracharyam Keshavam Badarayanam Sutra Bhashya Krutau Vande Bhagavantau Punah Punah. So pranams to all the Atma Jyotis, my Guru Sri Narasimha Prabhuji and the Guru Parampara, with whose grace we are able to listen to these beautiful teachings of the Upanishads. So to start off, let us start with a question. Why do we have to study the Upanishads? Why do we have to study the Upanishads? We are here today to listen to stories from the Chandogya, but why? Any inputs? Anyone can share. And any answer would be the correct answer.
That is one of the highest level of wisdom.
Absolutely, right. And anyone else? Highest level of wisdom. Yeah, but what's there in it for me, in this wisdom? Anyone?
Share and listening and practicing.
That's nice. Okay. Yeah. I don't know. Some other answers could be for peace of mind.
See,
yes.
Particularly Kena Upanishad and Katha Upanishad stories, I love them.
Really? Okay. We will come to that as well. Oh, to know Brahma Tattva. Absolutely. We need to study the Upanishads to know the Brahma Tattva. All right.
Stories are always interesting.
Yes, absolutely. That's also true. Stories are anyway interesting.
So why not listen to stories with values?
Very valid. Yes, correct. So as I said, any answer? Yes. Somebody else wants to say something?
Yes, Purnimaji. We
Yes,
learn the life lessons faster with stories, and
Yeah.
it's easier to understand.
Very beautifully said. Correct.
To know self, we
To
should
know
study
the-
Upanishad.
Yes, madam. To know the self, we need to study the Upanishads. So, yeah, like I said, any answer is the correct answer. But here is a more compelling reason, if you wish. You know why we need to study the Upanishads? Because with this, we will be booking a birth of a elevated human birth in the next life. Believe it or not. Krishna himself says, okay, what does it say? Partha naiveha namurta vinashas tasya vidyate nahi kalyanakrit kaschid durgatim tata gacchati. If we have to avoid durgati in this life or the next, durgati is what? The greatest fear a human being has got is the fear of death and the fear of next birth. Where will I be born? As what will I be born? You know, see, while alive, we might be cursing our conditions. All of us are not very happy with all the conditions that we are born with. The environment, the society. We have got many complaints. But if you still ask next life, what do you want to be? We'll still opt for this known devil rather than the unknown angel, isn't it? So, Krishna assures us, you keep thinking of me. Me means the Upanishads, the Brahman, whatever it is. You study me, you think of me, and you become one with me. Then that is the only way to avoid Durgati. No Durgati either in this life or the next life. Na Iha, na Amutra. No, Iha means here, Amutra means the next life. Isn't that a compelling reason? Otherwise, who knows? Where will you be born? As what will you be born? Will we have the same condition? Will be in the same position to listen to the teachings of the Upanishads? That is very important. That is the purpose of life. We all know purpose of life is self-realization. If I am not able to do that in this lifetime, at least I should be able to continue it in the next lifetime, which is a very, very compelling reason to be coming to the meditation and study circle every week, Monday, Tuesday, Monday, Tuesday. Yes. So, good. All of us are on the right track. Kalyana Krit. We are all Kalyana Kritis. That is, we are on the path of Kalyana. Not only to us, but for our family members also, and for the environment, for society, for everyone. So, no Durgati for any of us. So, that's the good news. Right. So, what are the Upanishads? As we know, no need to dwell too much on it, I guess. Upanishad means it's the end of the Veda. It comes in the Anta, Veda Anta. Usually the Upanishads are found at the end of Vedanta, and they are the highest teachings, as one of us shared. And we all know it, they are Apaurushaya. There is no author. There is no timeline either. You know, they're as old as the hills or older than the hills. So these Upanishads are timeless, eternal, and the ultimate truth, the highest teaching that has come from the source itself, from Narayana himself. Narayana Samarambhat Shankaracharya Madhyamam Asmadacharya Paryantam Vande Guru Parampara. And it's been passed on through Guru Parampara to all of us. Okay. And the rishis, the ancient rishis who are responsible for the Upanishads, they are not kartaras. They didn't sit and write by themselves. There is no involvement or interference by any human mind in this. They are just drashtaras. All these truths were revealed to them. Drashtaras. They saw the truth. Like, you know, how we have heard that Ramanujan, the great mathematician, for him, he could see the equations float in front of him. Drashta. That is the best. That's the best kind of drishti darshana one can have, straight from the source. So that is the mahatva of the Upanishads. And to give a brief meaning, to break down the word Upanishads, Upa means near. Upa means near. And then Samipe. Upa means Samipe. Let me share the screen. Yeah. Upa means Samipa, near. Ni means, it stands for Nishtha. Nishtha means commitment, dedication. And also Nishchaya, with firm dedication. Firm dedication and firm commitment, determination. What do? We go near. Near what? Sad. Sad means the truth. Sad also has other meanings. Sad has other meanings. One is Visharana. Visharana means destruction. Gati means goal or movement. And Avasadana means loosening or decay. So what are all these terms? What are they indicating? So we approach the Upanishads with Nishchaya, with Nishtha, with dedication, commitment, with a firm determination. And so what happens? How do we approach the Upanishads? Through the Guru. That is also said by our Acharyas. Even if you are very, very intellectually very capable, do not try to study and understand the Upanishad all by yourself. It has to come through the Guru, Guru Mukhena. Only then it will make sense. Otherwise, the human mind can lead us astray. All right. So we approach the Upanishads through the Sadguru with Nishtha, with a Nishchaya to understand the teachings. What happens then? Visharana happens. Destruction. Destruction of what? The ego, ahankara, ajnana, bondage, vasanas. The destruction of all this is ensured when we do this. And then gati. The movement is towards all this. The movement is towards the self. It's an inward journey. And amasadana, loosening. What loosens? Again, the same vasanas and the ahankara and the mamakara, and all these will loosen or decay. This is a splitting of the term Upanishad in this manner. And also Upanishidati means to be steadfastly rooted. And Shankaracharya says in the Anandavali Bhashya that this is Brahma Vidya itself. The Upanishad is nothing but Brahma Vidya. It's the ultimate form of Shreyas. We all know Shreyas and Preyas. Shreyas is what is good for me, and Preyas is what I like for myself. So this is the ultimate form of Shreyas because it's taking me to my own self. Right? And then whatever, according to again Shankaracharya himself, whatever uh, destroys the ignorance is Upanishad. Whatever joins the Jivatma with the Paramatma is the Upanishad. These are some of the meanings of the Upanishad. What are the qualifications? We all know. Sadhana Chatushtaya, again given by the Shastras and explained by Sri Shankara in the Tattva Bodha. We all know that, however, here it is Viveka. What is good for me, what is wrong for me, what is Shreyas, what is Preyas, that's Viveka. Vairagya. Vairagya, to understand that the world as I know it, as of now, it's not giving me eternal happiness. That is the Vairagya. Therefore, I need to look for a deeper meaning, ask existential questions. Vairagya. Then Shamadamadi Shat Sampatti. All the like Nishtha, Nishchaya, all these qualifications have to be there. The dedication, the commitment, the samadhana, the concentration, all these qualifications are needed. And then Mumukshutva. Keep the fire burning in sim all the time. That means coming back, like all of us have done, coming back to the teachings again and again. So those are the qualifications. So all of us again are on the right track. And through the kathas of the Upanishads, see that the Upanishads are not a boring text which goes on telling only about all the Upanishads have only one message that I am Brahman, you are Brahman, Tattvamasi. But they have beautiful stories in between to, like Vasuji said, to break the monotony and make it more palatable to us. And so the kathas are also called upakhyanas or akhyayikas. So we can quickly have a look at all these things. And what are the major Upanishads? So here's a very handy shloka. Isha kena katha prashna mundamandupya tittiri aitareyam cha chandogyam bruhadaranyakam tatha. Ishopanishad, Kenopanishad, Katha Prashna Upanishad, Mundaka, Mandukya, Tittiri. Tittiri is Taittiriya. Aitareya, Chandogya, and Brihadaranyaka. Why are these called the major Upanishads? Because Shankara has written the Bhashya on these. Shankara and other Acharyas have written the Bhashyas on these Upanishads. Maybe because they have the maybe it appealed to them or whatever, because all the Upanishads are equally important. They are called the major Upanishads. The minor Upanishads are not minor in terms of message, but they have not been expounded upon by the Bhashyakara. That is the only reason they are called minor. Otherwise, they are perfectly fine. All right. So today, what we are doing is we are talking about the Chandogya Upanishad, which is one of the major Upanishads, as we just saw in the shloka. So this Chandogya Upanishad is found in the Samaveda. Okay. And it is, as we know, the Samaveda has got a very poetic, sing-song way of reciting the Samaveda. And this Chandas itself means poetic meter. The term Chandas means poetic meter. And it has got a certain rhythm to it. And it's one of the oldest Upanishads. And it has apparently 8 chapters. And what is the material of this Chandogya? It has, of course, it has got something called the Udgita Vidya, which is it's about Om, the importance of Om and how to chant Om. That's called Udgita Vidya. Vidya here means Upasana. In this context means Upasana. And then, of course, there's a lot about Papa and Punya and the universe as the whole of the Jiva, Jagat, Ishvara, and the Brahman and Jivatma, Parama, everything. The whole package is there in this Chandogya Upanishad. Today, what we are looking at is the story of Shvetaketu and Raja Pravahana. In this Chandogya, the hero is Shvetaketu. I'm sure most of us will recognize Shvetaketu from this famous Mahavakya. Tattvamasi Shvetaketu. Shvetaketu's father, Aruni, gives him Brahmajnana with this beautiful Mahavakya, Tattvamasi Shvetaketu. But today we are not going talking about the highest teaching. Before that, we are talking about an episode between Shvetaketu and Raja Pravahana. And this is an episode about the Panchagni Vidya, the five fires. Why should we not go straight away to this Brahma Vidya? Why talk about all this Panchagni Vidya and all? Because most of us are very much invested in this world, even though we have heard and we have repeated ad nauseum that is Mithya world. It doesn't have, a reality of its own. We keep saying that, but still it's not easy to break away from this illusion or delusion of the world. That's why the next best thing to do is to form a relationship with this world, a healthy, beautiful relationship with the world around us. That is very important. How to understand Ishvara and his creation, his Mayik, even though it's Mayik, it's good to understand the creation because we live here. It is very much a reality as long as we are in this body-mind complex, isn't it? That is why to build a healthy relationship with the Jagat and Ishvara and know what is his plan, what is his sankalpa, why is everything happening. We have to learn about this, the Aparavidya. Even Krishna calls it, the Paravidya is about Brahman, everything else is Aparavidya, but that is very, very important. And so here we are with the doctrine of the five fires, Panchagni Vidya. The background to it is Shvetaketu, the young boy. He is the son of a great rishi himself, and he has just gone to the Gurukula. He has finished his studies and he has come back and he's looking for employment. He's in search of a job. And so in those days, I don't know how ancient in those days, he went to this king. His name was Pravahana, Raja Pravahana. And this Raja Pravahana, he took his interview. He took Shvetaketu's interview and he asked him, okay, so what do you know? Let us hear. And he gave him a few questions. Pravahana Raja asked him a few questions. If you can answer these questions, okay, the job is yours. Whatever job, maybe as a court advisor, a Brahmana, the advisor, the minister, whatever, mantri. So the first question was, okay, this whole Panchagni Vidya, the body of knowledge that we have is about, what is this fire? It's about the whole universe being a yajna. Everything that's happening around us is a yajna. That's the crux of this Panchagni Vidya, the fire. Why is it important to know about the Panchagni Vidya? Because Krishna has said, again, I don't know if the Shruti is supporting the Smriti or the Smriti is supporting the Shruti. So much in tandem. Krishna says, Yagnartha karmano anyatra lokoyam karma bandhanaha. Every karma, do it as a yajna, as a sacrifice, as an offering to the Lord. Otherwise, lokaha ayam karma bandhanaha. This loka will become a karma bandhana. It will bind you in bondage. It will keep you in bondage in this loka. If you don't do it as a sacrifice, as an offering, as a loving offering to God. Tadartham karma kaunteya. Only in this manner you have to do karma. Oh Kunti Putra, mukta sangha samachara. Behave, you conduct yourself in this world, mukta sangha, by detaching yourself with all sorts of attachments. See, how do we operate in the world? Because we desire something, we want something. Most of our karmas are kamya karmas. I want this, I want that. Or we want to accomplish something, this has to be accomplished. We do work with that. We don't give much thought of, the attitude with which we are doing, rather than the urgency to complete the work. So, this is where the correction has to begin from this level. The yajna bhava has to come. Okay, so in this Raja Pravahana's episode, what are the Panchagnis we are talking about? One is the heaven? Thou Dyuloka, how was the heaven formed? And then Parjanya is the next yajna that is happening, how the rains were formed. And then Prithvi, the yajna of how the earth. This is the most ultimate ancient yajna which kick-started the universe, if you wish, And how was the Purusha and how did the tree was formed? This is all very, very esoteric and mystical things. If you want to think of it in scientific terms, we have got a lot of explanation, but this is beyond science. It is mystical. It is science. Science explains things when they're already here, but it is before anything was even manifest. It is so fantastic. So let us dive into it right away. So as we said, this young boy Shwetaketu went to Raja Pravahana, and this Pravahana gave him a challenge. Okay, he said, "Oh, so you claim to be a Brahmana who has completed your studies? Come, let us see what you know." And here was the first question of Pravahana. Where do people go after they die? Well, maybe we would say heaven or hell. But this Shwetaketu said, "I don't know." He said, "I don't know." And then 2, in what way are the dead born? Where from do they come? These are the questions given by Pravahana. 3rd, what is the difference between Devayana and Pitrayana? 4, why isn't Pitraloka overflowing even though so many are departing from this world? Very strange questions, right? 5, how does Apa means water, become Purusha, means a human being, in the 5th Ahuti? So 5 Ahutis, 5 fires are being talked about. In the 5th Ahuti, water becomes Purusha. What is this? Panchama Ahutyo Apaha Purusha Vashaso Bhavanti. He's asking, Pravahana is asking all these questions to Shwetaketu. And strangely for us, he doesn't know the answer. Perhaps the Chandogya was not written for the poor chap to know the answer. All right. So let us see what happened. Shwetaketu frankly said, "I'm sorry, Maharaja, I don't know the answers." So Pravahana made fun of him. "Oh, you called yourself an educated fellow and you come here looking for a job? Go and learn again. You're not fit for any kind of job if you don't know the answers to all these questions." So Shwetaketu was insulted. He was humiliated. And he went back to his father, Gautama or Aruni. Aruni Gautama, Uddalaka Aruni, so many names. That's another thing about the Upanishads, The same fellow is called multiple names. So you don't know who the Upanishad is talking about. Perhaps they're talking about the same fellow doing multiple roles or something. Anyway, it's irrelevant. So Shwetaketu hotfoots back to his father and says, "Look how insulted I was today. The Raja asked me several questions. I couldn't answer even one. I don't know what kind of school you sent me to. They haven't taught me anything." And so Gautama was also perplexed. Okay, what are the questions? And so Shwetaketu gave all these questions. Where do people go after they die? In what way are the dead born? Where from do they come? What is Devayana, Pitrayana? I don't know any answer. My father, he said. Gautama also doesn't know. Forget about Shwetaketu. Gautama also doesn't know. This is very perplexing, right? So Gautama says, "Okay, I will go to the Raja. If he's asking the questions, he must know the answers. I will go and ask the Raja what the answers are." So Gautama goes to Raja Pravahana and asks him, what is happening? What are all these? How come we don't know the answers to any of these questions? And so then Pravahana says, "Okay, my dear Brahmana, I am a Kshatriya and you are a Brahmana. I am not qualified to give you this jnana. So please forgive me." Then Gautama said, "This is unfair. You have asked us questions for which we don't know answers. I don't care. If I'm a Brahmana and you are a Kshatriya, I want answers. Please teach me." So Gautama surrendered to this Pravahana. And so the Pravahana next confessed that, "I'm sorry, I conned you, I tricked you. I tricked your son also. You're all not supposed to know the answers for these questions. Because this Vidya is passed on only in the Kshatriya clan. It is passed on from Kshatriya to Kshatriya. So obviously you guys don't know the answer. But now that Gautama has surrendered, Shvetaketu said, Pravahana tells Gautama, okay, if you really want to know the answer, then you be in my court for some time. You do whatever work I tell you, and you prove yourself that you're, see that Nishchaya, that the dedication, commitment, everything should be displayed to Pravahana. Only then he will teach. He said, okay. Then of course Gautama stays back in Pravahana's court. And then finally the day comes when Pravahana says, okay, now I'm going to give you the answers. Okay, so what are the answers? What are the things that Pravahana tells Gautama, right? Then he talks about the Pancha Agnis, the 5 Agnis. What is the first 5? The first fire is about the Svargaloka. Here, I want us all to imagine that there is nothing. You know, in the beginning, there was nothing. And then the heavens come into, the heavens are manifest. That is called a yajna. Whenever something is being manifested, that is called a yajna, because so many factors have to go into it. Even if to make one sambar or rasam, how many things go into it? Not just the ingredients, the person who is doing it, the wherewithal, the infrastructure, so many things. It's a yajna. Many things are involved in it. And imagine when Svargaloka is being formed, what all has to go into it? So who are the yajamanas, who are the guys who are sitting and doing the yajna? It is the devatas themselves. Devatas mean all these IAS officers of Brahman who have got certain portfolios. You know, they are the guys who are sitting and doing the devata. They have started. The creation has started, and the devatas are all ready to perform the yajna. They are the yajamanas. And what are they? What is the sacrificial? The Homa Kunda. The Homa Kunda in which the fire is lit is Svargaloka. Whatever we desire first, that has to be, the Homa Kunda represents the phala that we want. Okay, that is why we give ahuti to the Agni. Okay, so the first sacrificial fire is Svargaloka, says the Chandogya in this story. And what is the samit? The samit, the havis that we are putting in this sacrificial kunda is Aditya, the sun himself. Now, let us all imagine the heavens. There's the sun, the bright, beautiful sun. That is the fuel that is going into this yajna called Svargaloka. And then, what is the smoke that is coming from the havis that we put? The sun is the havis, and the smoke is the Rashmiyaha, the sun rays. The rays of the sun is described as the smoke. In this chapter 5, 4th shloka, 4th canto, shlokas 1 and 2, this Svargaloka, the first Agni, is being described in the Chandogya. And then what is the Archi, the flames? The flames that are emanating in this fire is Ahaha. Ahaha means day. The day when the sun rises and the rays of the sun blaze forth, the day is born, isn't it? And then what are the Angaraha, the embers, when the flames die down, when the rays of the sun die down? Chandrama, the moon is the embers. It's described in the heavens are being described here. That is the Agni, that is the Ahuti that is being given. Vispulingaha, what are the sparks, the stars, Nakshatrani? They are the Vispulingas. Such a beautiful imagery is being created here, isn't it? Imagine the sun, the day, and then the moon, and the stars. This is the heaven. This is the yajna that is happening, and we are witnessing 24/7. But we don't look at it as an yajna. This is the first yajna. This is the first Agni of the Panchagnis. And what is the oblation? What is the ahuti that is being given by the Yajamanas, the Devatas? Shraddha. With great devotion, with great Shraddha, this yajna is being performed by the Devatas. The Shraddha, we must, even in our yajnas we do. When we put the Purohit asks us, when Uddharane neer haki, we are asked to put a spoon of water. That water, when we put, it is the it stands for the Shraddha that spoon of water does nothing, to the whole Havan that is happening, but it denotes my Shraddha in it. So that is the oblation. So when this whole beautiful yagna is happening, what is born? What is the phala? What is the phala of this yagna? Somaraja is born. Somaraja is the name given for the jiva. The jiva who is in a subtle form. All of us, this is how we were first conceptualized by Ishvara. Just think about it. In the first Agni, the idea of me was born. This is the first fire. Okay. Then what is the second fire? The second fire is Parjanya. The second fire is, see, what we are doing here is, how does the jiva become, what was the question? How does the water become Purusha? Was the question asked by Pravahana. So now, for this, we need to know the whole history of this five fires. The second fire is Parjanya, or what? What is Parjanya? Parjanya means rain. Again, the Yajmanas are Devatas, and now the Parjanya is the sacrificial fire. Parjanya, or the rains, is the sacrificial, that Homa Kunda. What is the Samit? How is rain formed? What are the accompaniments of this rain? Vayu. Vayu is the fuel, Samit, for this beautiful yagna that is called rains. Again, we take the rains for granted. Today is a cloudy evening. Just think of it. The yajna that is happening in this whole phenomenon, Vayu is the Samit. And then, what is the smoke that is coming out? Abhram, the clouds. The clouds is denoted as the smoke that is coming out of this yagna. And then, another beautiful imagery, you can imagine this. Archi, the flames of this yagna are the lightning, vidyut, lightning in the sky. When the heavy rains are imminent, when it's about to pour, you have this dark, beautiful clouds hanging, and there is a streak of lightning. That the flame, the archi, the flame. And then the angaraha, the embers of this wonderful spectacle is the thunderbolt. Asanihi is the thunderbolt. There's a lightning and there's a thunderbolt. And then, what are the sparks of this yagna? Radanayaha, thunder itself. Thunder, the rolling thunder is the spark of this, the vispulingaha of this, this whole yagna called rain, has all these elements. Then what is the oblation? Somaraja. The jiva itself is the oblation for this rains which is coming down from the heavens to the earth. The ahuti is the jiva itself. And so, with this Parjanya, what is born, what is the phala of this yagna, of the second fire? Rain itself comes down. Rain itself comes down with this second yagna. Okay. Then what is the third? Third fire is the Prithvi, earth. The next beautiful spectacle that we have is about earth and how it is nourished by rain. That is also yajna. Again, the yajamana, the sacrificial fire, is Prithvi, the earth itself. The Samit is the Samvatsara, the years. The year. Samvatsara is the Samit, the fuel. See, this mapping of this fuel to year and all this, it is very, very esoteric, it's very mystical, it is very hard to imagine. But go with it and just imagine the beautiful spectacle that is being painted in this story. The yagna that is happening on earth. The heavens are created, the rains are coming down to earth, and the seasons are, the earth is going around the sun, and the whole yagna is happening. And what's the smoke of this yagna? Akashaha, the sky. All the accompaniments that Earth's atmosphere is being described here. Akashaha, the sky. Archi, what is the flame? Ratrihi. The night is the flame of this yagna called Prithvi. The night is the yajna. Angaraha, the embers are dishaha, the directions. So beautiful. The directions are the embers. And the sparks are the antarjaha, the intermediate direction. Northeast, northwest, southwest. All these antardishaha are the intermediate directions. They are the sparks of this third yajna. And then the ahuti is varsham. The rain itself is the ahuti in this oblation. Ahuti in this yajna. And so what is born with this parjanya, with this the third fire of Prithvi, what is born? Anna is born, food is born through the year. Food is being born. Seasonal food. Whenever the season is right, that kind of food will be born. Anna is born. See, when Anna has to be born, this whole yajna has to happen. Who is making it happen? The Devatas. Under whose command? Brahman, the source itself. Prithvi is a Devata. Samvatsara is a Devata. Akasha is a Devata. Ratri is a Devata. Disha is a Devata. Antardisha is a Devata. Everything is a Devata. All that which is working under the command of Brahman, the whole nature in Sanatana Dharma is a Devata. Everything is a Devata. Anna is a Devata. Anna Purneshwari, Anna Brahma. Isn't it? And then what do we have? The fourth fire is the Purusha. Now the heavens are there and the earth is there, earth's atmosphere has come and the food is there. And then how is the Jiva born? This is the next yajna that is happening. What's happening here? The Yajamanas are again the Devatas and the Agni is the sacrificial fire is the Purusha. To be specific, the male. What is the summit, the fuel of this Purusha? It is the walk, the speech of the Purusha. And then Dhumaha is the breath, the ingoing and outgoing breath. The Prana is the smoke of this yagna. And then the flames are the Jihva, the tongue of the man is the flame of this yagna. Angaraha, the embers are the Chakshuhu, the eyes, the flashing eyes. The bright eyes are the embers, and then the Vispulingaha, the sparks are the Shrotram, the ears, because they are perhaps jetting out. And then the Ahuti is Annam. To this Homa of man, the Purusha, the Annam is the Ahuti. Okay? This is what the story says. What is born with this yagna? The Purusha is ready to reproduce. Semen, Retas is born in this fourth fire. See, what all we take for granted in life, everything is a yajna. If it wasn't a yajna, why would it be described in the most ancient text known to humankind? Isn't it? So this is that is the fourth. Now the fifth fire is the Stree. The fifth fire is the Stree. Yajamanas are Devatas again. Yeah. And Agni is the sacrificial, the Stree is the sacrificial fire, and the Ahuti is the Retas or semen. And then what is born? The fetus is born. The Jiva is finally born. This is the yagna. Everything is a yagna. That is the whole point of the story. Yagnartha karmanaha anyatha lokaha ayam karma bandhanaha. And nowhere it is said that the Jiva is the Karta. The Devatas are doing everything under the command of Brahman. The nature is doing everything. There's nothing that you or I, anybody in this limited body, mind, intellect, BMI, nothing can be done by myself. That Ahankara is the one which says, I am doing it. Nothing can be done. Everything is done by nature. Everything is done by the Devatas. So after 9 months, Apaha becomes Purushaha in this fifth oblation. Now can you see the connection? First, in the first yajna, 1 spoon of water, Apaha, was offered by the Devatas with Shraddha. Then the heavens were formed, and now that followed, many other yajnas followed, and in this fifth fire, Apa becomes Purusha. It becomes a Jiva. Right? And so this is how, again, the Gita, of course, says this, Annad bhavanti bhutani, Parjanyat anna sambhavaha. Bhutani means you and I. All the living beings are made by Anna. And where did Anna come from? Parjanyaha. Then Yagnat bhavanti Parjanya. How did Yagna come? It came from Yagna. And how did this Yagna happen? Karma samudbhava. Because all the devatas are doing their karmas with the spirit of surrender, with the command of Brahman. That is why I am here today. You are here today. Otherwise, nothing. Without the yajna, nothing. Without these 5 yajnas, zilch. No universe, no jiva, nothing. Okay, one might say, oh, why did they even do this yajna? We were better off without this. Yeah, that is for fun. And then the 6th ahuti. What happens? The dead body itself is consigned to flame. That's the last ahuti. Body is the havis, which is offered to Agni. Even that is a yajna. Many of us might have gone to the crematorium and, seen this happening. Or we have gone to Kashi and seen all the, bodies burning in the ghats. Yajna is happening. We see the sun rising. Yajna is happening. The moon, yajna. Rain, yajna. Child being born, yajna. See how beautiful it is. This is the question asked by Pravahana, and these are the answers given by Pravahana to Gautama Rishi. And then there was this question about what is this Devayana and what is this Pitrayana. So how are people, where do people go after they die? Isn't it? That was the next question asked by our Pravahana Raja. So now we come to Devayana. What is this? Path of the Devas. Okay, this is about how people go after they die. So when this Manusya, that is the Jiva, you and I, when we are cognizant of this Panchagni Vidya or Panchagni Upasana, when we do tapas on this, when we know this, when we do tapas on, or when we understand the spirit of sacrifice in the karmas that we do, what happens? Then only that person alone is capable, or is arhata is given to this person to go to take the Devayana marg after death. What is the Devayana marg? It is the world of light. So when this Manusya was done tapas, when he dies, what happens if he has done this tapas and he has talked about, he has tried to learn about himself and the Brahman and studied the Upanishads? What happens to him? He goes to the world of light. From there, he will wait for the world of day. Suppose I die in the night, I don't have to worry. Because if I am doing the Panchagni Vidya and if I have done the Upasana and if I have tried to study the Upanishad, I don't have to die. I don't have to wait like, Bhishma, who waited for Uttarayana. Let us come to that part later. So he enters straight away, goes to the world of light, and then he waits for daylight. He waits for daylight. He means the jiva which is left. It is carried by the Udana Vayu. It is being carried by the Udana Vayu. And it waits. It waits for the world, for the day to come. And in case the jiva dies during the Krishna Paksha, then it waits for the Shukla Paksha, the bright fortnight of the moon. The bright fortnight of the moon. The jiva waits. And then if you are in the Dakshinayana, if in the second half, from August to, now that this part of the year, if you are dead, if the jiva dies in this time of the year, it wait for the Uttarayana, like how Bhishma did, isn't it? The Bhishma was lying on his Sharashaya during the latter half of December. But then he waited until Sankranti for the Uttarayana to give us his body. But not all of us have got this thing of the Bhishma's Ichthamarani. We are not Ichthamarani. We need not be. All we have to do is be on the path of self-inquiry, of Brahma Vichara, Atma Vichara, of Upasana, of Bhakti, as detailed by Krishna in the Bhagavad Gita, as given in the Upanishad, and we are taken care of. The Devatas will take care of the Jiva. We don't have to have Ichthamana. Ichtha Jivana is important. How I live my life right now is very important. All I have to do is do Upasana, do Jnana, have Bhakti, do Karma Yoga. And then I'll have this Marga to exit from this world. I will go to the world of light, and then the world of day, and the Shukla Paksha, and then the Uttarayana. And then when the Uttarayana is there, sets in, then the Jiva is taken to the sun. And then the Jiva is taken to the moon. And then it's taken via lightning. All very mystical, esoteric concepts are being given in this story. And then the Devatas, the guardian angels, then gently, very beautifully, probably, they all come, all these bright Jivas, bright Devatas, sparkling light, they come and they lead this beautiful soul, because the soul has had a very fruitful life on earth, and it's waiting for the guardian angels, and this Jiva is taken to Brahmaloka. Brahmaloka, that's the highest. We know so many 7 lokas above, 6 lokas above, and 6 below. In the middle being earth, this Bhuloka, and it goes to the highest Brahmaloka, the Satyaloka. So once you leave Brahmaloka, it's the path of no return. This is called the Devayana, or the Archi Marga. Archi means light, the path of light. So this is about the departure of the Pitrus. When how this is one marga, where the soul is taken after death. In Brahmaloka, what happens? Brahmaji himself will become the Sadguru, and he himself will teach the Upanishads. He himself will teach everything that is to be known about the self, and there you sit and do sadhana, because it's a timeless loka. Brahmaloka is as long as Brahma's lifetime. And then until Brahma's lifetime, which is millions, zillion, trillions of years, you just become one with Brahmaji and one with Brahman at the end of Brahma's lifetime. So that is the Archimarga, the Devayana. So this Vidya was given by Pravahana to Gautama. How do the Pitrus depart? That is one answer. There is another Marga. What is the other Marga? Oh, yeah, there is a beautiful shloka associated with this in the Bhagavad Gita. Same thing Sri Krishna tells. Agnir Jyotiraha Shuklaha Shanmata Uttarayanam. Same. Agni, Jyoti, Ahaha means day, Shukla means Shukla Paksha, Shanmasa Uttarayanam. Uttarayana is a 6 months of Uttarayana. Tatra Prayata Gachanti. Who goes? Gachanti. Who goes in this marga? Brahma Vido Janaha. Brahma Vido Janaha, the one who are aspirants of Brahma Vidya, they go to Brahma Loka. Brahma Vido Janaha. So Krishna also says this, confirms this in the Smriti of the Bhagavad Gita to Arjuna. Why does Krishna say all that to Arjuna? He said, don't worry, man. All your Dronacharyas and your Bhishmacharyas, they'll all go according to their karma phala. They'll all go to the world that they are supposed to go. Don't worry. And so he's giving the example of how an elevated soul goes to Brahmaloka. And it's a much far better place than earth, man. Don't worry. We are going to a better place. And there they will find themselves. They'll get realized. Okay, so what about those who are not going in the path of light? Then there is a path of darkness. It is called the Pitrayana or the Dhumra Marga, the path of smoke. Dhuma means what? Smoke. The path of smoke or the path of darkness is the Pitrayana. Okay, what about this path of darkness? This path of darkness is for one who has lived a very dharmic life, who has done a lot of dana dharma. Oh, I thought doing dana and dharma ensures me a place, a birth in Brahma Loka. Isn't that what we have all thought? Ritualistic life, good life, I'm a dharmic life. I do all the pancha yajnas that have been given in the Vedas. I don't throw paper on the road. I segregate my waste. I feed the poor. I take care of cows. I don't yell at my neighbor. I take care of my old, parents and vruddhas in the family. This is what the Vedas tell us. The pancha yajnas I'm doing. Or dharma artha kama I'm doing in a dharmic manner. I'm living my life. I'm earning my living. I'm creating wealth in a dharmic manner. I'm not a cheat. I'm not bribing people. I'm not cutting people's heads off, to get the better for myself. No, I'm a very, very law-abiding citizen. I go and vote also, I'm a nice man. So why am I going in this path of darkness? One might ask. It is not enough to be dharmic. That is what Krishna says. Traigunya Vishaya Veda Nishtraigunya Bhavarjuna. Traigunya Vishaya. The Vedic rituals that have been, all this Karma Kanda is full of how one has to lead life. The Karma Kanda, right? This Traigunya Vishaya. Traigunya means what? Triguna means what? Sattva, Rajas, Tamas. Triguna. What is this Triguna? Maya. Nothing else. Triguna means Maya. This world of Maya is all about living a dharmic life for the law-abiding one. That's not enough. What is the Krishna is saying? That's not enough. Traigunya Vishaya Deva Vishaya Traigunya Vishaya Veda Nishtraigunya Bhava. You have to rise above the Trigunas. Nishtraigunya Bhavarjuna. How do I do that? By going on the path of self-inquiry, Upanishads, Brahma Vidya, all this I have to do. It's not enough if you go on doing Kamya Karma, asking things for yourself, doing the yajna, again with the sense of Kamya, I want this, I want that. That's what I have been doing all my life. Think beyond yourself, man. Think of, what's the purpose of life? Until I come there, what is there for me? The Pitrayana only is reserved for me. Okay, so what is this Pitrayana all about? This is for the dharmic person. Imagine. Don't even talk about the rascal, who is the, not behaving properly in the world. Okay, so this dharmic man, where does he go? He goes to the world of smoke. He goes to the world of smoke. And then from there, he waits for the world of night. Even if such a dharmic person dies during Uttarayana Kala, dies, at 12 o'clock in the morning in the, bright sunlight, still the jiva is made to wait till nightfall, world of night, and then for Krishna Paksha, waiting for Krishna Paksha. After that, the Dakshinayana, the second half of the year, it has to wait. From there, the soul is carried to Pitruloka. It spends some time in Pitruloka. It says hi. Maybe it sees its ancestors, says hi, feels happy. They're all doing well. Okay, great. If they have not yet come back to earth. And then from Pitruloka, it's taken to Akasha. Via Akasha, it goes to the moon. The soul goes to the moon, it is said. And then in moon, what happens? It's a very beautiful, they have a great time. It's called heaven, where Amrita is available, and it's apparently very tasty. And as long as the Punya Karma Phala is there, one enjoys in this, on this moon loka. And then after the Punya Karma is done, After the visa expires, what happens? One comes back. Same path. Return ticket is also on the same path. Sky, air, smoke, cloud, rain, food. The jiva has to come back on earth as food, as annam. The jiva is born as first as annam. Okay. Again, in the Bhagavad Gita, this Dhumra Marga is also explained. Dhumo Ratristata Krishna Shenmasa Dakshinayanam Tatra Chandramasam Jyotir Yogi Paprapya Nivartate. Yogi only gets this. Yogi, the dharmic person, only gets this path of darkness. Nivartate. He has to come back. And does the story end here? Okay, Baba, I have come back to earth. Is that where it ends? It does not, because this food has to be eaten. There is no guarantee that you will be, in the first shot, you will be reborn when you are born as food again. When the jiva is born as food again, it is no guarantee. Why? The rebirth has a lot of caveats. Only if the food is eaten by a man, that is said, only in the man who is designated for you as your father, as your parent, then only it is converted to a garbha. See, this is such a very intricate thing which we don't give it any thought. It's a great yajna in which there is no volition on my part. The only volition I have is I should eat the proper food, sattvic food, and wait for the sattvic child to be born to me. Right? It's a great punya karma to be born as a Brahmana or a Kshatriya or a Vaishya. This is what the Upanishad says. Only if the food is eaten by a proper person and it is converted into a jiva, please consider that there is a great punya karma happening. If you are born as a Brahmana means what? A Brahmana is one not by birth, as we all know by now. It is not a caste. A Brahmana is one who is interested in Brahman. Or a Kshatriya. Why a Kshatriya? That's also a very high caste, as we know, because we are a great country with a lot of caste system going around here. Kshatriya is considered an upper caste because he has the wherewithal to study Brahma Vidya also. Vaishya also, because he is prosperous, he is well off, and his family is well off to give a good education to the children born in the family, isn't it? It's a great punya karma to be born as in these yonis, says the Shruti. And then, what is the papa karma? If that anna, if the jiva which is born as annam is eaten by a wrong, or an undesirable thing, you can be born as a pig or a dog or a chandala or a homeless person. This is not to what is the papa? Because they are not adhikari sharira is not there for them, papa. That is why they are papa karmana. Dogs or pigs or animals or chandalas or the homeless persons. Where will they have? They are just struggling to just live. They don't have the adhikari sharira to have this Brahma Vidya. That is why they are called the Papa Yonayaha. And there is also a third one. Shudra Jivana. What is that? Be born and die and again and again. All these small and insects and animals, if the jiva is not eaten properly by the adhikari, by the proper person, this person will be born as a insect or a small animal. All this Raja Pravahana is telling this Gautama Rishi. Papa, poor insect, these mosquitoes. You know how long is a mosquito's life? As long as it takes you to squash it, right? And then the housefly, apparently it lives only for a day. The common housefly, which is so annoying, it goes around. I think unless it's in your own house, it feels it lives forever. But poor these small insects. These are all called the Kshudra life. Kshudra life. They are just born just to die. This is not the kind of birth that one would wish for. So why are we looking at all these details? Why? There's a huge lesson for us here. What is that? Pitruloka is not filled up because of this, because these are the various ways that all these, the people who are dead are reborn again in these various ways. Therefore, the Pitruloka is not filled up. That is one of the questions that Pravahana had asked this boy, Shwetaketu. That is why the Pitruloka is not filled up. What is the lesson here? Antakale cha mameva smaran krut muktva kalevaram yah prayachi samadbhavam yati nastasya samshayah. We better watch our thoughts and actions when we are alive, when we have good health, when we are able to study, when our minds are sharp enough, when I am not, don't have to wait for Alzheimer's to strike me, when I am alert, awake, fit enough, physically fit, mentally fit. This is the time to engage in Atma Jnana, Atma Vidya, read the Upanishads, try to understand what is all is happening. Otherwise, what happens? At the time of death, the right thought will not come to me. The right thought, which will take me on the Devayana Marga, will not come to me. I'm done in. The Pitrayana will await, or some other horrible, path of return will await me. That's why watch my thoughts and actions at any point of time. That is the whole point of this story told by Raja Pravahana to this boy and boy's father Gautama. This is the Panchagni Vidya Upasana. So this Panchagni Vidya Upasana, it is not an ritualistic sacrifice. It's not, isn't it? It's an Upasana. It is for understanding. All these yagnas are happening in the world on its own. Right? And it is a contemplation that we have to do. The whole point of learning this Panchagni Vidya is I have to contemplate on it. And now it is a crime to look at anything without understanding it with the Yajna Bhava. So many things have gone into it. There's so much of, like we saw, the Devatas are involved at every point of time. Everything is an Yajna. I cannot take it for granted. And once I understanding this whole Yajna philosophy, I will never be able to say I did something. I, as in the limited body mind complex that I am. I'll not be able to say it. And I'll not be able to claim anything as mine. It's not. It belongs to the universe. It's part of the whole. It's the whole ecosystem which is operating here. Nothing can be mine. We saw just now how everything is a yajna. Everything is coming from, from the source itself. It belongs to where it came from. Everything. It belongs to where it came from. And so, I might ask, if everything has come from God and everything is a yajna and, I'm nothing, I don't have to do anything. If that is a question that one might have in the head, what is my role in life then? If everything is an yajna, what am I supposed to do? Understand and sit or what? No, says God, says Ishvara. Because this knowledge one gets only for people, the 6 qualities that God says are important for a person to develop, to be eligible for this yajna, Panchagni Vidya Upasana. What is that? Udyamam, sahasam, dhairyam, buddhihi, shaktihi, parakramaha. षड्येते yatra vartante tatra devaha sahayakrit. Only if one has these 6 qualities, tatra devaha sahayakrit. Only then the devas, the angels, the devatas, the gods, Brahman or God will help one to understand this vidya. That qualification is very important. What is that? It doesn't mean because everything is yajna, it doesn't mean you have to sit lazily because everything is happening anyway. Udyamam, hard work. I have to do hard work. I should have the capacity to work hard. At what? At whatever I want to accomplish. Even the worldly goals. I have to have that udyamam mentality. I should be at it like an ant. I should be at it. Then sahasam. What is the sahasam? Sahasam is the enthusiasm and the motivation to work. I might be a hard worker, but I should have the motivation to get up and about, do something about it. That is sahasam. And then dhairyam. Dhairyam is the courage to launch on the path. The courage to launch on the path. The motivation and the courage to log in to this session and listen. Log into a talk by a Sadguru. Open a book and read. Try to understand. That requires sahasam, dhairyam, and buddhihi. Of course, the intellect, nobody can overemphasize the importance of the buddhi. That is very important, to be able to grasp these beautiful truths. That's a great, boon. And then shakti. One has to be also physically fit. Shakti is also important. And the wherewithal. The shakti is also in terms of, the comfort of wealth or, the means to engage on the path. That's also very important. Parakramaha. All these heavy words. Why for all this? Parakramaha is the ability to see to it to the end. Whatever you have started, to go through it and to see to the end requires parakramaha. See, it is not easy to be on this path. It's very easy to drop out. It's very easy to lose interest. It's very easy to say, oh my God, this is too mystical, this is too esoteric. I don't understand what is happening. I don't want it anymore. It's so easy to go back into the mundane life, to go back into the world. To drop it is very easy. To go through it and to see it through the end requires parakramaha. षड्येते yatra vartante tatra devaha sahayakrit. You display these 6 qualities. I will take care of your journey, says the Lord. So these are the inputs from the story of Pravahana Raja and Shwetaketu. That is one story in the Chandogya. I think time is up for today. Any questions, any doubts, we can open it up to the audience now.